Welcome back to World History Uncovered, where the hidden past finally meets the spotlight. Today, we begin our journey into the secret history of espionage, starting with its dark, fog-laced origins in Chapter 1, Shadows in the Fog. It's the 1940s. Picture a shadowy figure in a trench coat slipping silently down a narrow alleyway in wartime Europe. A coded message, no longer than a matchstick, is passed beneath the flickering light of a street lamp. It looks like an ordinary exchange, but this single moment could alter the fate of nations. Espionage didn't start with James Bond. It started here, in the fog and fear of a world at war. Inside a nearby hotel room, a mahogany desk glows under a single lamp. Nestled among rouge and perfume lies a secret weapon, a lipstick tube containing a tightly rolled microfilm. Female operatives during World War II weren't just couriers, they were masterminds. One such agent, posing as a nurse, stitched coded documents into her coat lining before slipping behind enemy lines. Her name would never appear in headlines, but her intelligence would redirect entire invasions. Across the icy span of a Berlin bridge, two men in overcoats and fedoras stand silently as snowflakes fall. One briefcase is handed over, the contents unknown. This was the Cold War, where trust was dead and betrayal was currency. On both sides of the Iron Curtain, these quiet exchanges carried secrets that could ignite global catastrophe. Deep in Soviet territory, a listening station hums to life. Reels spin, red lights blink, and radio waves crackle with stolen whispers. Surveillance was relentless and silence was lethal. Just as British MI6 pored over maps and red phones rang with coded alerts, Soviet handlers were intercepting, decoding, and manipulating. It was a chessboard with human pawns. In the shadows of the British Empire, a poison ring was slipped onto a gloved hand in a royal court. Just a flick of the finger and a monarch could fall. Not all spies hid in shadows. Some smiled at banquets while plotting in silence. Meanwhile, the Enigma machine, a marvel of engineering and secrecy, clicked away in candlelit bunkers. Its ciphers, thought unbreakable, were cracked by brilliant minds in Bletchley Park. That single breach may have shortened World War II by years. Back in the Western Hemisphere, Essia, a safe house sat disguised as a suburban home. Inside, weapons, cameras, and a world map covered in red string. Every line marked a story. Every pin a potential war. On this map, men and women disappeared into countries with no names, vanishing without glory. Under the cover of night, a lone spy crawled through a forest, the howls of dogs and searchlights chasing every breath. One wrong step meant capture. Or worse. This is where espionage began, not with gadgets and glamour, but with shadows, silence, and sacrifice. These unsung agents wrote the first pages of a story the world was never meant to read. The Cold War may have ended, but espionage only evolved, growing sharper, quieter, and far more dangerous. In this chapter, we descend into a world of betrayal, smokescreen identities, and shadows wrapped in patriotism. The game wasn't just played in the alleys anymore, it had risen into the skies, asterisk above our heads. Spy satellites silently orbit Earth. Their lenses are so powerful they can read license plates from space. Invisible beams of surveillance sweep across military bases, tracking movements, intercepting encrypted transmissions, and marking targets. Nations once feared armies, now they feared being watched. Asterisk in a dense forest far from civilization, a red light blinks from a suitcase radio transmitter. A lone operative, crouched beneath the trees, punches an encrypted Morse code. Every dot and dash carries critical information: missile tests, troop movements, classified strategies. But every signal sent also risks being tracked. The forest is still, but danger is everywhere. Asterisk at a bustling train station, two spies brush past one. Another, a briefcase is handed off in the blur of rushing passengers. No words are exchanged, only a knowing glance. Inside the case, perhaps nuclear codes or the identity of a double agent. The simplest gestures were loaded with consequence. Asterisk, not all missions end cleanly. In a bare interrogation room lit by a single overhead bulb, a captured spy sits with sweat trickling down his temple. His fate hangs in the silence between questions. Every answer could cost him lives, his own or others. And yet, the most dangerous weapon in the room isn't the pistol on the table, it's the silence, asterisk across the globe. A high-level political meeting takes place in a lavish hall, but a tiny camera, hidden in the button of a diplomat's coat, records everything. Espionage had become art surveillance devices the size of rice grains, gathering secrets in plain sight. Eli smiled while secrets changed hands behind the curtain, asterisk in the heart of a sleepless city. A spy rappels down a high-rise tower. Wind whips around him. Below, neon lights flicker. Alarms wail from inside the building. Something went wrong. The mission was compromised. But escape was not an option. It was protocol, asterisk in a nearby country. A man in a tuxedo serves drinks to ambassadors at a candlelit dinner party. But he's not part of the catering staff. Hidden beneath his jacket is a tiny microphone. He listens as secrets flow like wine. This was the theater of espionage, elegant, silent, and merciless, asterisk elsewhere. A double agent shoves classified documents into a fireplace. Flames consume names, maps, and locations while shadows dance on the walls. He's covering his tracks, destroying decades of trust in seconds. Every spy has two sides, but some have none at all. Asterisk behind the safety of bookshelves and ink, a passport. Factory hums inside a bookstore. Forged IDs are printed and sealed, ready to transport agents across borders. A name can be erased, a face can be changed. But the mission always continues, asterisk above a remote desert facility, a sleek drone hovers. Like a predator. It sees everything: guards, vehicles, even heat signatures underground. It sends real-time images to agents miles away. In today's espionage, distance means nothing. The enemy could be watching from the sky or sitting across the table, asterisk espionage. Had become a mirror. What you see isn't always what's real. And what's real could vanish before you ever knew it existed. The deeper we go, the more we realize there are no friends, only shifting loyalties. The modern era of espionage is not just fought in war rooms or dark alleys, it's waged beneath the ocean, in encrypted code and in the quiet spaces between fiction and fact. In this final chapter, we uncover the digital ghosts of espionage. Spies who operate without identity, missions hidden in plain sight, and moments that have altered world history without a single shot fired far beneath the waves. A deep-sea diver moves silently through the cold darkness, planting a small surveillance device beneath the hull of a foreign Navy vessel. With every bubble rising to the surface, an invisible wire connects the depths of the sea to satellite intelligence. This is modern warfare unseen, silent, and devastatingly precise. In a dimly lit room, a spy examines a tattered envelope. He holds a cipher wheel in one hand and UV light in the other. Slowly, invisible ink glows to life. Each letter carries meaning. Each word could ignite a conflict or save thousands. The tools have evolved, but the art remains the same. Code-breaking is still a spy's most sacred weapon. Back in time, during the Cold War, a lone agent stands in a foggy park. He looks around before crouching at an old hollow tree. Inside is a metal canister, his dead drop. No contact, no conversation. Just a silent exchange of secrets between strangers who would never meet. These methods, though old, still echo in modern spycraft. Tucked away in a crumbling old library, a hidden meeting unfolds. Dusty tomes line the walls, and behind one shelf is a concealed map: routes, names, objectives. Libraries once stored knowledge, now they hide conspiracies. In the whisper of a turning page, new missions are born. An undercover agent, disguised as a tourist, snaps photos with a pen. It looks like an ordinary writing tool, but inside, a micro camera captures blueprints of a military facility. Disguises have always been a spy's shield, but it's the tools that reveal their genius. Spread across a velvet cloth, an array of vintage spy gadgets lies in wait. Gun pens, camera rings, and poison pills disguised as cufflinks. Each item tells a story of creativity born from necessity. The night erupts in motion. A car chase roars. Through rain-soaked European streets, tires screech, headlights flash through fog. Somewhere in the back seat is a flash drive, a single file capable of shifting global power. There's no time to think, only to escape. Below the city, another. Agent sloshes through sewage tunnels, drenched and breathless. A foreign embassy above is searching for him. Every echo in the tunnel could mean discovery. Every heartbeat could be his last. In espionage, escape is sometimes the mission itself. At a quiet cafe, a man flips through an old newspaper. Hidden within the folds is an encrypted message. He's wearing glasses, sipping coffee, blending in. He reads, memorizes, and burns the evidence in an ashtray. One moment, he's a customer. The next, he's vanished. In a war room across the globe, alarms blare. A coded transmission has been intercepted, its meaning unclear, but its timing catastrophic. Analysts shout, commanders panic, and somewhere, far from the noise, a spy smiles. The mission was successful. This is the future of espionage, silent wars, invisible agents, and secrets buried not in files but in whispers, codes, and shadows. History isn't written by generals anymore. It's written by the spies you never see.